Right, hey everyone. So this would be my trade recap for the 3 trades that I took yesterday, the 1st of December, during London and New York sessions. Overall, my bias for the 1st of December was actually long because if we look at the daily, I noticed that price was making higher lows and as well as higher highs. So even though these two highs were very slight, but structurally they still made sense for the longs. Also, when I went down to the 4 hour, it was also the same situation with higher lows and higher highs being created. So therefore, I was only looking for longs at that point in time when I saw this 4 hour area that was a potential to be cleared. So on the previous 4 hour close nearest to the London Open, I saw that price actually closed bullish. The 1 hour candle at that point in time was also moving bullish at this area here. So I then waited for this support to be formed after respecting this previous resistance and nearer to the London Open because I wanted to wait for volume to kick in so that I could clear the clean candles on the left of the 4 hour at this point here. So what I did to enter the trade was I waited for this 1 hour candle at London Open to close above this previous 1 hour support. And then after that, the next candle to wick down, reject this 1 hour zone at 139,600, flip bullish above the previous candle body. Then I entered with my stop loss below the 1 hour support like this. So at this point in time, I also noticed that because there were two areas of rejection on the 1 hour, so it wasn't exactly super clean on the chart. So I did not want to be too greedy in my take profits. So I aimed for the immediate highs at 139,800, being conservative instead of taking everything off at 139,850 because there were some differences between my broker's pricing as well as the chart's pricing. So I decided to be more conservative with my entry. So we can see that price pinned and then did a heavy rejection coming back down. So how I managed this trade was because of the two 1 hour rejections that we saw here and here, the moment price hit the first zone, I was quick to push my stop loss to break even. And after that, I actually let the rest of the trade go to my TP at 139,800. Right, so this was a simple grab in anticipation of the London volume to potentially push the trade up. So on the second trade that I took, it was also long because overall I was long bias for the day. When I saw that this big bearish candle actually came down and stopped at this previous resistance, and I took the trade when this bullish candle closed, confirming support. It could have been better because this candle should have closed above this resistance if it wanted to move higher to clean this clean move over here. So I ended with dynamic risk immediately on the close instead of waiting for the candle to pull down first and then flip bullish. So I managed my trade on the 30-minute, and then when I saw that price actually broke below this previous wick, I cut off 80% and then I left the remaining 20% to hit my stop loss in full because I was already in at only half risk. So I thought that if I needed to let the trade breathe, the pullback might be a bit deep, seeing that it is actually a 1 hour close. But in this case, the trade didn't work out, so it was good that I only entered with half risk. So I think what could have been done better on this second trade was for me to actually wait for this candle to close above this resistance before I took a long entry, because the fact that it didn't close above could have meant that price was not ready to move up. So that's how I could have avoided this loss. So the next trade was actually taken during New York. So what I did was, the idea was for longs was still there at the same area, right? So I waited for New York Open to come in so that I would have volume to help push my price up to clean this clean candle here, which was the original plan on the second trade anyway. So I waited. This candle closed a lot better than the previous one as it closed above the 1 hour resistance. Because I wanted to have an aggressive stop, I then waited for the next candle to pull down, make a wick to grabbing liquidity from this 1 hour resistance zone. And when it flipped bullish, I make my entry with my stops below this wick here, aiming for TP1 for this highs. So I took 80% off here, and the second one was taken off at the same area at 139,800. So at that point in time, there was some Brexit news that occurred, so price shot up really fast. So when I saw this candle pushing up, I immediately looked for my last target to be at 140,700, because I thought that if price has such volume to push up, there might be a continuation move. Plus, since my stop loss was already locked below the latest TP, I couldn't lose on the trade, so I was willing to stretch my trade TP a bit to the next zone. As we can see that on the 4 hour on the left, there's actually nothing in the way, and we have these clean candles here that could potentially bring us up to 140,700. So that was the way I managed the trade, but unfortunately on the next candle, it actually came back down, and then it got my stop loss in profits, which is also fine because overall the bulk of the trade was already closed off. So those are my 3 trades for the day. So far December has been looking okay, which is quite surprising given that I thought it would be slower as is the year end, and also because this is the week where NFP results are out, and historically it has always been very rangy, but GG has seen some fairly good moves. So that's why I've been maximizing my 3 trades per day. So that's how I've been taking them. Right. So if you found it useful, just help me drop a like so that I know that I can continue making these videos. And again, if you have any questions, just send them in the comments or feel free to DM me. Right. Happy trading, and I'll see you guys later.